Hey everybody, it is Nathan and Blake with another episode of Service Dog Tales. I have a tale to tell. Today I want to talk about an interaction that happened just a few weeks ago and is a perfect characterization of one of my mottos. You met one autistic? You met one autistic. Now, in order to protect the anonymity of the other person in this story, I'm going to keep some of the details a little bit vague, but you should still be able to follow along. So I'm in a lounge, waiting for something to do, eating some food, and playing Tetris. You never get that damn long bar when you need it. And I am called upon to go to a job, and so I get up and I start walking out of the room, and this other girl who's in the lounge notices Blake for the first time. Oftentimes Blake just chills under tables and people don't actually know she's there until she gets up to leave. Anyway, she sees Blake for the first time, and she comes up to me and she's like, "What's that dog for?" Great start, really great start. For those of you that don't know why this is a little inappropriate, it's because a lot of people with disabilities prefer not to tell everybody what their disability is everywhere they go. I'm a bit more open about mine, so I just kind of said, "I'm autistic." And then she got this really empathetic look on her face and she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." This is not the first time that this particular interaction has happened. I actually made another video a while back about basically this exact dialogue, but this time I was ready with the response. "It's okay. I don't blame you. I blame my dad. That bastard. Just kidding. Love you, Dad." And this was the end of it. Until a little bit later when she and I were assigned to work in the same room together. And the whole time we were working, every now and then she would look down at Blake with curiosity and look at me with confusion. And then when we finished our work, we were packing up to leave and she finally came up to me and she asked, "Wait, so how are you autistic?" At first, I didn't think I heard her properly, so I was like, "Say what?" "Well, like, you said you're autistic, right?" Would like to point out that this was in front of another person who was in the room at the time. Yes, I did say that. And yes, I am. But like, how are you autistic? And I had to think about this one for a sec because I wasn't sure exactly what she was asking. Like, was she asking how I became autistic? Because that would be my dad. Or was she asking how I could possibly be autistic? To which the answer is once again, my dad, because genetics. Or was she asking me what symptoms I experience of autism? I finally decided that she was probably asking me what symptoms of autism I have, which is still a pretty nosy question. That I still answered. Well, I have sensory problems where sometimes I'm a little bit more overstimulated by loud noises or certain fabrics on my skin, and I have some social impairments like, sometimes when I ask people a question, I don't realize that it's a really inappropriate question. "Oh, okay." Yeah, I'm the one who's socially impaired. Well, it's just, you just don't look autistic at all. Like, I would never have guessed that you had social impairments. Really? Because your social impairments seem pretty obvious. Well, autism doesn't have a look. It's a spectrum, so different autistics look different ways, and there's no one look that is associated with autism. And then I left the room, thinking this is definitely going to be on Service Dog Tales. As always, I really don't think that this girl had any malicious intent, and I hope that this entire situation was a learning experience for her. I don't want to cast her as this bad person because she was simply curious. However, she did ask a lot of very inappropriate and very prying questions that she was not necessarily entitled to the answer of. So I hope that by getting this video out, we can help to educate the community about what is appropriate to ask and what is not appropriate to ask. Mainly what is not appropriate to ask. Well, that's today's video. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this episode, give it a like, a share, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, check out some of my other stuff, and I will see you next week.